Well, I'm going to ask you, is the South African guy on the radio ads, because this is a question I get, real or is he an actor?
He is 100% real.
And who is he?
He's George Bushny.
And where's George Bushny from?
Patio Factory.
Yeah.
I remember him when we had the account, when I kind of first came in. Lovely man. Incredible story.
Yeah.
And we kind of were able to put in all the tools that we knew we could kind of bring to the table and from a marketing point of view. And yeah, it just kind of blew up for him.
Yeah.
In such a way where, you have somebody, we have like a whole case study, which is based on that project, but you have somebody who's kind of going to like fold up their tent and just kind of call it a day. Mm-hmm. It was just burning money. The company wasn't doing as well as he wanted it to do.
He had a rogue business partner who'd left and somehow had managed to still retain access to his website and his social media and was pilfering leads.
We fought for that one for a while as well to get that back.
Yeah. So we had to recover a Facebook page, which we'd been locked out of. Yeah. If anybody's tried to do that, that's pretty hard. The website we had to essentially clean out because it had a backdoor in it. So that was one thing we had to do.
Yeah. House first and then fix it up.
And a lot of the advertising he'd been doing prior to us had been magazines, newspapers, TV guides and those sort of things. And obviously not scalable, obviously wasn't working in this day and age. And he was about ready to call it quits. Yep. But he obviously is hard as nails, as we've all met him. And he was pretty determined to prove the naysayers wrong.
Yeah.
And I guess quite a good time for him to have a turnaround because that was probably a couple of years before COVID happened.
Yes.
When COVID happened, he just went obviously bananas. There's a lot of those home improvement type industries did. And
we had to adapt our marketing during COVID as well for that. That was the idea, the kind of in-box packaging in terms of just taking it DIY.
Yeah, packaged. Yeah. So then what happened with that ad is we weren't planning to use them on radio. That was never our intention.
No. We just did video testimonial.
We did a video testimonial,
A lot of clients, and that was one of them where I think it was more the sting. It was just the way he said that one phrase.
All of a sudden, it just kicked in, and we got more and more and more leads to the point where I've actually asked PWD to cut our advertising spend because I can't handle the volume of business.
Any marketing campaign was that they got too much. They had to bring the spend down because they had too many people calling in.
Yeah.
And then that just, I don't know what it was. It was something really genuine about that particular video.
And look, let's call it for what it is. His accent obviously is so iconic.
Sure.
I sent the sample to the radio station and I said, can we use some of this? And they lit up like a Christmas tree and came back with a script and an ad. And then we mixed it in and off she went. So I do apologize to the people of Perth. It's off because I have played that ad.
We do get calls.
Yeah, we get several complaints every week still. And I must say at one stage, the radio station, one in particular, which I won't name, got so many complaints on the same day, they actually rang me up and said, we're going to pull the ad. And I quickly rebuffed it and said, well, hang on a second. It's not the content of the ad, it's the accent.
No, and I think that's it. It was a very kind of straightforward ad. It was very and we had done other ads with other testimonial VO. Like this was the one that stuck. That was just hit. And then it became people started calling in, complaining. But then, to be honest, it's got such a great continuation to the story. Now it's a pretty awesome remix.
It is a remix, yeah.
Which is amazing.
And that remix, credit to the talent at Nova.
Yeah, they crushed it.
We didn't request the remix there. They called me up and said, hey, we've got a DJ and he has taken it upon himself to remix your South African guy. And I'm like,
so good.
Yeah, okay. And I heard it and I just couldn't stop laughing. And
you put it on every single, like you sent it around the office so many different times. And it was like, all right, now we got to cut some kind of really fun video together. We got to do all this. And it had that real trendy vibe to it, which we can do a lot of that with.
Yeah.
But it is still the purity of that one line from that original testimonial video.
Yeah. And, we've stopped getting complaints. We've started getting compliments.
Yeah.
Something's working. We've had people randomly calling an email. We actually got a Google review where they gave us 5 stars and then they wrote about the ad, which...
Oh, that's amazing.
Happy days.
Again, I think it is like we are definitely becoming a lot more... People are becoming aware because we're coming up with ideas and you're coming up with ideas where there's not a lot of fear to just try something. And I think the market,
what do you got to do?
But that was always been your MO, where it's like, that is the right way to think, because you stay safe and then, or you play in the same sandbox as a lot of the other kind of people out there. You're going to be just kind of in that kind of whirlpool.
It's ironic, right? There's all these traditional and then hybrid and digital agencies here in Perth.
Yeah.
And they're all telling their clients to do marketing. Yet very few of them themselves do much,
from the marketing side.
Yeah. They might do branding, or they might do a little bit of Google ads or social remarketing or whatever like that is.
Sure.
But the vast majority of them don't practice what they preach.
Yeah.
And, I do think there's a massive marriage relationship, harmony between radio and TV. But, radio obviously I've been a big advocate of for the last 10, 15 years, which can help drive digital numbers because you need that awareness. I think radio certainly builds trust, credibility, rapport. You've got somebody, when you think about it, in a locked environment.
Yeah, 100%.
They're in the car.
Yeah.
Most of the time they're on their own. This voice comes over and it has incredible cut through. It's not just, these sort of lullaby type radio ads.
Yeah.
And they're going to listen to it.
And we had a good end sting as well, because every one of our ads always finished with PWD, your digital agency. It's this last line, whatever the ad was, the spot that we used. And that, again, using those 3 letters and just keeping it really clean and simple, you'll always remember that last sting.
Yeah. We kind of had to, right? Because we've obviously got PWD on the side of the building.
Wow, yeah.
There's a ton of people out there driving cars that just see a sign and have no clue what it means. And of course, we needed to, try to connect the dots in some cases. So that was certainly the thinking, the strategy behind a lot of the advertising we've done in the last couple of years.
And people know you from that ad, because like I'll be in a group of people and they'll say, "Oh, where do you work?" I say, "Oh, PWD." It's like, "Oh, I heard your ad on the radio."
Yeah.
You don't really hear that a lot. Like you don't have to explain what your company is or anything, because they already kind of know the awareness is there. So,
and any John Hughes, there's so many brands there in Perth, especially that you do. It's just they are household names because of doing it.
More and more and more leads. I can't handle more leads. More and more and more leads. All of a sudden, it just kicked in.